All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We are right there. Today we're going to talk 3 different sections here, kind of all blended together in the same, because they're very short, and talk all about the same concept. So we're just going to read them all, and I will separate them as needed. First, Jesus tells the parable of the hidden treasure. That's in Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that a man discovered hidden in a field. In his excitement, he hid it again and sold everything he owned to get enough money to buy the field. Then from there, Jesus tells the parable of the pearl merchant. And that's Matthew 13, starting at verse 45. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant on the lookout for choice pearls. When he discovered a pearl of great value, he sold everything he owned and bought it. And then the last one, Jesus tells the parable of the fishing net. Matthew 13, starting at verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a fishing net that was thrown into the water and caught fish of every kind. When the net was full, they dragged it up onto the shore, sat down, and stored the good fish into crates, but threw the bad ones away. That is the way it will be at the end of the world. The angels will come and separate the wicked people from the righteous, throwing the wicked into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Do you understand all these things? Yes, they said, we do. Then he added, every teacher of religious law who becomes a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like a homeowner who brings from his storeroom new gems of truth as well as old. Now the commentary. The commentary is for all 3, so I'm just going to read them as we go, and they'll be okay.
Yeah.
The kingdom of heaven is more valuable than anything else we can have, and a person must be willing to give up everything to obtain it. The man who discovered the treasure hidden in the field stumbled upon it by accident, but knew its value when he found it. Although the transaction cost the man everything, he paid nothing for the priceless treasure itself. It became free with the field. Nothing is more precious than the kingdom of heaven, yet God gives it to us as a gift. The parable of the pearl is of great value, reinforces the same point. The parable of the fishing net has the same meaning as the parable of the wheat and weeds. We are to obey God and tell others about his grace and goodness, but we cannot dictate who is part of the kingdom of heaven and who is not. This sorting will be done at the last judgment by those infinitely more qualified than we. Anyone who understands God's real purpose in the law, as revealed in the Old Testament, has a real treasure. The Old Testament points the way to Jesus, the Messiah. Jesus always upheld its authority and relevance, but there is a double benefit for those who understand Jesus' teaching about the kingdom of heaven. This was a new treasure that Jesus was revealing. Both the old and new teaching give practical guidelines for faith and for living in the world. The teachers of the religious law, however, were trapped in the old and blind to the new. I don't know that I have anything really to add to that.
No, just that the commentary is pretty accurate on that. The teachers were so engulfed in the rituals and the laws,
their own traditions and the things they made up for themselves that they were all so proud of, and
that they refused to see who Jesus really was.
Yeah.
They were scared of change.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They were scared of change, so they would not accept Jesus because they were scared of change.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's part of the problem for all of us. You know, at some point when the gospel is brought to any of us, all of us, and and Jesus said, repent and turn from your sin. We're most often scared of that change. I really like doing what I'm doing, whatever that thing is, and I'm afraid that if I stop doing it, it won't be as enjoyable for me, or I just really, I don't want to give this or that or whatever, and it does not matter what it is, it's all the same.
Right.
And yeah, absolutely, people are afraid of change, and same as the religious leaders of the day, they had their ways and they didn't want to upset the balance of power,
Right.
or be thought less of by their peers. It was very, out there in their face that, this is what I have to do in order to be accepted by everybody around me.
Mm-hmm.
They were afraid of being shunned by their peers.
Without naming specific names and classes, we're seeing that now with a current very high leadership role in a particular religion that's now saying that there's all different ways to get to heaven.
Yeah.
Jesus is the only way to heaven.
There is only one way, but
he's been he doesn't want to lose his faith, and his peers are believing a different way, so
Yeah.
he's going to accommodate them by trying to convince everybody else there's another way too.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it is. Jesus is the only way.
there is the only way.
And I didn't really want to be canceled, and I didn't want the video not to post, and we
Yeah.
do have issues with that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention the main head of the religious thing that starts with a P and ends with an E. And
I think everybody knows where you're going with that, and
so
it's sad that, again, is the religious leader is
yeah,
dumbing down and watering down the
Right.
gospel just to be inclusive for everybody, and
Catholicism rituals do not give an accurate description of what Christianity really is.
Yeah.
Christianity is following and believing and trusting and loving and worshiping the one and only God, and it's Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Who took our punishment.
Yep.
So I hope we don't get canceled.
Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody sees this,
Yeah.
and we will talk to you later.